just villages without no population, but in America, towns without no.
Hello, I'm Misha. How do you do?
I am fine, Misha, and it's so nice to meet you. I know очень приятно, but it's so good to be in your country. We love Russia. It's a beautiful country. And we love Arkansas, where we came from. And it's a beautiful country. Half of the northern, probably 2/3, is mountainous. It's called the Ozark Mountains. And the southern part is more flatland, steppe, you call steppe. And in the southern part, they grow rice and cotton and soybeans. And they raise a lot of chickens, a lot of big houses, probably, an eighth of a mile long. How many chickens do they get at a time in those houses? 25,000 chickens in one house, and they produce a lot of chickens. In the northern part, where we are from, much timber in the mountains, and the men cut a lot of trees for lumber. Also, some of the trees are chopped up to make sawdust and for mulching around plants. And they sell this. It's called the Ozark Mountains. A lot of people come from all over the United States to visit and see our beautiful mountains.
I'm glad to meet you, Barbara. At my English lesson, I have learned much about the United States of America. I got interested in your country and I would like to find out as much as possible about the United States. I'll be very thankful to you if you can tell me something about the place you live in.
Will, do you have questions particular?
Yes. What American state do you come from? What American state do you come from?
We're from Arkansas.
How long have you been living there?
Most of our lives. For a while, when my husband was very young, he lived in California for a while, out on the Pacific Ocean. And then for a while, he lived in Oklahoma. And but most of his life, he has lived in Arkansas, and me too.
Do people who live in Arkansas different from American people who live in other parts of the country?
I'm sorry.
Do people who live in Arkansas different from American people who live in other parts of the US?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. They are mostly very friendly people. Very friendly. Most of your southern people are, we have a term called southern hospitality. And I think people in Arkansas are very hospitable to others. Maybe more so than people in New York or farther, Minnesota, some of the northern states. We wave at everybody as we drive a car. Everybody waves at everybody. And you go to other states, you don't see that.
If a person comes to a state as a traveler, what would you like him advise to see there?
If somebody came to our state,
Your state,
if a visitor,
as a traveler,
what
would you advise him to see there?
we have some beautiful caves. One in particular is called Blanchard Springs Caverns. It's huge. It's advertised as being larger than Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, or it's more beautiful than Carlsbad Caverns in what state out west? New Mexico. And we have taken many visitors to tour this cave. It's beautiful. The stalagmites, stalactites, all is just awesome. It really is. We have many hiking trails. A lot of people like to camp or walk, hike, just to see the scenery itself.
The highest mountain in Arkansas, 2,800 feet.
Okay, the highest, you need to interview my husband too. The highest mountain in Arkansas is
2,800.
2,800. Yeah, 2,800 feet high. Our mountains are not as high or tall as the Rocky Mountains. In Colorado, Wyoming, farther west, those mountains have snow on them all year round. Ours do not have snow.
Do you like to live in Arkansas?
Very much, yes.
But why? Like,
Why? It used to be called the land of opportunity. And the people were more, the country people especially, the mountain people were more, we call it laid back, more, another American expression, down to earth, more honest and just friendly. You never meet a stranger. In the bigger cities, maybe it's not quite that much, but we would love to have anybody come. Now it's called the natural state, not the land of opportunity anymore. Bill Clinton, that was president at one time, was our governor first before he was president. And under his, should we say regime, we had this name, the nickname for the state changed from the land of opportunity to the natural state, because they are so proud of all the timber, the beautiful mountains, the caves. A little farther south from us in Arkansas is a state park called, where the diamonds are, Paul. Murfreesboro, Arkansas has a park where people can go and dig for diamonds. If you find a diamond, it is yours to keep. Yes. Now, let me explain though. These are not like real hard diamonds, high quality like from Africa or somewhere. But they still are valuable. And some people like to go and dig for diamonds. Yes, there you are. Yes. So they're called Arkansas diamonds. They're beautiful, but they do not have the value of something maybe from Africa or some other country that
what
has
are the
diamonds.
peculiarities of the climate, landscape, wildlife in this part of the US?
The climate is, I think, changing. Global warming, I think, is affecting our climate. But it used to, when I was young and growing up, and my husband, we had much rainfall, especially in the mountains. And people, a colloquialism or a saying would be, "Oh, my friend, I will come and see you after the shower, the small rain." And they would set their clocks or their timing, their schedules by, "Well, we'll do this after the shower," because almost every day it would rain a little bit. But now, so much timber has been cut, we think it's affecting the rainfall some. This last summer we had a terrible, terrible heat wave, a record heat wave, and a lot of crops failed. A lot of people suffered, even though most homes today have air conditioning in their own private homes, but people still suffer from the heat. We have snow, but it seems like we have more ice storms than we have snow. And this can be very dangerous, especially in the mountain area. The roads are just impassable when it's coated with an inch or two of ice. The trees just are bowed down with the weight of the ice on them. Much timber breaks. And because the timber breaks, then it knocks out the power, the electricity. And myself, I have lived maybe a week, 7 days, with no electricity in our homes. So in the mountains, it's very hard for them to sometimes find where the break is in electricity. So that's one drawback, perhaps, living in the hills.
You raise a lot of fruit,
A lot of fruit.
peaches, peaches, apples.
That's right, Paul. I forgot about that. In the hills, we grow a lot of peaches, a lot of orchards for peaches and apples. To the west of us, about 50, 60 miles, are very famous vineyards. We're vinograds. Grow grapes, okay, and they make wine there. It's a winery. Also, our timber, we have a lot of walnut trees. And as a young person, my children and I, we used to gather the walnuts. And then every October, they would bring in what they called walnut haulers. And you would take big bags, maybe weigh 40, 50 pounds, and they would dump them into these walnut haulers. And it would go up a conveyor belt, and it would take the husk off. And then they would weigh it up, and you could sell and make a little extra spending money by how much your walnuts were weighing and how much they gave you. Or you just paid them for hauling the walnuts, and a lot of people used to take the walnuts home then, and in the wintertime that was something they would crack and get the nut meat out and use it in salads or in baking torts or something like this.
If it were possible for you to move to any place to your liking, would you stay in Arkansas or go somewhere else?
Probably I would stay in Arkansas. I love it. It's my home. My roots are there. I would love to visit maybe Hawaii someday. I have been in Colorado. When I was a little girl, I was there for about 2 months. It's beautiful. But I don't think I would want to live there. About 5 years ago, my husband and I went to Alaska. And it was very interesting, and the flowers were very beautiful. It's most of Alaska, I think, is in the same latitude as much of Russia, and but I wouldn't want to live there. No.
Thank you very much, Barbara.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope I could answer your questions.